Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our virtual event, Technology and Distance Education. Joining us now is an exceptionally talented educator. He is going to share with us his expertise in website planning and designing. Our speaker is a graduate of the University of Santo Tomas, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, graduated with honors cum laude. He took up a Master of Arts in Asian Studies at the University of the Philippines. He is currently taking up Master of Distance Education at the UP Open University. A co-founder of Social Science Educators for Empowerment and Knowledge Building, he is also a lecturer of the Chinese Studies program at Ateneo de Manila University and was an instructor at the Bulacan State University. Currently, he is the Social Science Unit Head of the Philippine Science High School main campus. Our speaker has also publications in the Chinese Studies Journal and Asian Studies Journal. A community service organizer and an advocate of teacher training, he is a resource speaker of various trainings for topics like leadership and curriculum in education, integration of technology in classroom and teaching, and social science education and Chinese studies. With his great talent in educational technology integration, he is a Google certified educator. Without further ado, please join me in giving our warmest welcome to our speaker, Mr. Charles Joseph de Guzman.
Ayan, hello po. Can you hear me? Ayan.
Yes
Ma'am,
po.
can you hear me? Ayan. Ayan, thank you kay Ma'am Mayla, no? Classmate. Yan, mag-classmate po kami sa UP Open University, no? I'm also taking my Master's in Distance Education, no? Technically, second Master's ko na. Yun. Thank you for the invitation to be part of this organization and to be part of this training for the teachers. I was in the background. I'm monitoring the registration and hello, ayan ma'am. Ma'am, for sound daw. Mahina po ba yung sound ko, ma'am? Medyo. Wait lang po sandali lang. Wait lang po. Tanggal lang ako ng screen. Hello? Ayan. Hello po. Ayan po. Bumili na po ako ng bagong mic. Joke. Kumuha lang po ako ng another mic. If it's okay po to everyone, I'm using a mic para lang Can I have ayan. Ayan, okay na raw po ba? Sige. I'll ask Sir Ray na lang kasi siya yung nakikita ko sa video ko. Sir Ray, can you hear me? Sir Ray Araya?
Yes,
Ayan.
sir. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ayan. Sorry, mga naka-video yung tatanungin ko kasi sila yung nakikita ko, no? Para lang tayo nasa klase. Anyway, so thank you again, Ma'am Maria. Classmate ko po siya sa UPOU Distance Education Program. I decided to study distance education because I believe it's the future, no? So even though I have a master's degree na pero I think maganda ring matutunan natin yun. So just like Sir Josiah, I will say that I am not an expert on distance education. This is the first time that we all did distance education, particularly yung blended learning, no? Marami po kasing aspect yan, no? Pag sinabing distance education, there are what you call blended, there's a full online. Sa US, hybrid sila eh. no? 2 days papasok yung mga bata, 3 days nasa bahay, no? And actually in Pisay, that's what the direction that we're going to, no? We might not go to the full face-to-face na at all. And I think that's also one thing that the administrators of the Montessori schools that you can think of it, no? Kasi with the rate of the vaccination in the Philippines, siguro magandang makita natin, will it be possible for us to really have face-to-face, no? So I think it's another matter kasi right now talagang online learning talaga tayo, and ang goal natin dito is to understand paano nga ba gumawa ng Google Sites. So let me, yan. Hindi nyo na lang po ako, hindi po ako mag-share screen, no? Look at me and in my camera, yan. Ayan. So again, I'm Charles from Instructech. We are an education consulting group, and I'm also a member of SIC, one of the founders of SIC, no? So this is introduction to Google Sites. Can you see my screen po? Yan. Sige muna. Hindi po ako naka-screen share. Pakipin nyo na lang po yung tile ko. Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
And my presentation? Is it clear to everyone? Ayan. Oops, lalabas. Ayan. Lalabas ulit ako. Ayan. So this is my introduction to Google Sites. I'm a Google certified educator. Right now, I'm currently at level 1. We'll do level 2 and we'll do the other exams, no? So I invite everyone to, if you have time, try to take the Google certified educator exam, no? Sige. Let's move on. So, Google Workspace for Education. Siguro magtanong lang muna ako bago ako magsimula. Sino rito po yung gumagamit ng Google Workspace? Or ng Gmail? Ayan. Sino rito yung mga naka-Gmail? Kasi tinitignan ko yung registration site natin, may mga naka-Yahoo. I'm not against Yahoo. Of course, Yahoo was the first email, no? Sino rito? Raise of hand lang. Yung mga gumagamit ng Gmail. Wow, dami. Ayan. And Gmail, ang dami, no? And actually, because Gmail is the number 1 email provider at this point in time, no? Sila yung pinakaunang provider natin, no? At ang daming gumagamit, no? So, just to, no? Google Workspace for Education. Sa previous features provided by Google for schools. Next question ko, sino naman dito yung nakasubscribe for Google Education? May mga schools na, sa mga member schools po natin ngayon, yung mga kasama natin, meron po ba sa inyo ang nakasubscribe na for Google Education? Meron po ba? May any schools? Like kami po sa Pisay, we are in Google Education, no? Kaya may mga nagpadala na po ng advanced question, paano raw po ba yung .edu.ph? Well, for one, you have to register it as a domain, and at the same time, you have to connect it in your Google for Education, no, na account. So mamaya po natin pag-usapan yan. Okay? May administrator po ba rito? Baka lang. Anyone na ma'am or sorry, hindi ko po nakikita yung sino lang po, meron na po ba naka Google for Education, and where do we register it from? Ayan, mamaya po pag-uusapan po natin yan, no? Maganda po mapag-usapan natin sa open forum yan. Pero kung wala pa po, I think yun nga, magandang mapag-usapan natin kasi I think this is the way to go, no? This is the way to go, and I think Google provides us with a lot of powerful application and features, no? And one thing nga po dito, yung nasa circle is yung Google Sites, okay. So, bakit nga ba Google Sites, no? I think ito isa sa pinaka-underrated na application na meron sa Google. Nung na-discover ko din to, sobrang napawaw talaga ako. Kasi madalas ginagamit natin yung Gmail, yung G Drive, of course, Classroom, no? Yan yung alternative LMS na ginagamit natin. Ako, I'm also using this Classroom, no? Kahit po kami sa Pisay, ang gamit namin ay Moodle. Yan po yung backbone ng aming learning management system. But still, most teachers will still use Google Classroom kasi naka-integrate nga po. And in our case, no, in our system, which means pag sinabi pong Pisay system, we have our campus kasi from Region 1 hanggang sa Davao po, no? So, every region po in the Philippines, we have one campus as mandated by law. Lahat po ng bata doon, merong Pisay email. Meron kaming official Pisay email. So, yung communication namin ay ay official communication namin with the kids or with the students ay nasa Pisay po, no? So, we can actually, it can provide a lot of security in terms of our communication kasi sinasabi namin, do not use your personal email to communicate with your teachers, to access like our LMS or Google Classroom. For the teachers, yung maraming collaboration dito, yung docs, yung sheets, yung slides, no? Calendar, hindi ko alam kung ginagamit nyo to. Pero, in my experience, no, personally, I think I'm so dependent with calendar, with Gmail, with Google Calendar, sorry. Parang pag wala yata sa calendar ko hindi nag-exist, no? I don't know kung kayo ganun din, no? Pag wala sa calendar hindi nag-exist, no? Of course, Gmeet, the alternative then for Zoom, and then sites, okay? So, bakit nga ba Google Sites? Anong meron? Well, Google Site is a free website builder, no? It's a part of Google Workspace and it's user-friendly. Sa practicum side natin later afternoon, doon natin pag-uusapan yung it's user-friendly, no? Yung free, of course, it's free kasi nga kung naka-Gmail naman kayo. So, doon sa mga naka-Yahoo, try nyo na mag-Gmail. Ayan. And then, part of Google Workspace. So, makikita nyo, no? Siguro as you listen to me, you can open your Gmail and then look for the Google Sites, no? Kasi yan yung magiging point nung practicum natin after lunch, no? So, meron tayong gagawin after lunch. Ngayon, why did we decided to focus on Google Sites, no? Kami ni Sir Josiah, very into Google Sites kami. Mamaya papakita namin sa inyo yung mga ginawa naming website using Google Sites. Number 1, no? Why create a website muna? Sige nga po. Anyone? Sorry, ang dami po naka-raise hand. Pwede pong pababa yung mga raise hand para I can call people naman. Kasi ang daming ayan. Sige, baba mo natin yung mga raise hand. Ayan. Baba natin yung raise hand. Sige. Let's ask people muna. Siguro mga 3 people din. Why create a website? Sige nga. What do you have in mind nung pumunta kayo rito? Bakit ba ako magke-create ng website? Sige nga, can I ask lang? Sino yung gusto po na sumagot lang? What are your goals? What are your objectives? Kasi yung paggawa ng website, just like any other projects, meron ka ring goal. May gusto kang ma-achieve. Sige nga. Ito po ba yung mga naka-raise? Sige, tawag ako si Sir Ray. Ayan, Sir Ray. Kasi naka-video siya, no? Sir Ray, as promised, tatawagin ko yung mga naka-video, no? Sige, tawagin ko si Sir Ray. Sir Ray, nakagawa ka na ba ng website or gagawa ka pa lang? And ano yung objectives mo or purpose mo? Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone. So I'm Ray Araya. I'm from Mindanao, Pagadan City, and currently teaching at Happy Hearts Montessori. Actually, sir, in our school, we are not doing this using the Google form because we have our own e-learning system that our children have their own account at home. It looks like a Facebook, sir, that all the teacher can create a lesson package and to share to our children. That it's very helpful to us. So at least we have an alternative, what we call this, apps that we can use if our LMS is not functioning on that, because they keep on having maintenance also. So why we are doing a website? In order for to communicate, to connect to our children, to our learners, because we are having now an online class or a learning distance education. I think that is the main goal, to connect to them, because we cannot compromise the learning of our children even though we are facing now in a pandemic, sir. That's my goal. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir, no? Tama yun, i-process muna natin. Alam naman natin yung LMS may bayad. Tama, Sir Ray. At yearly, kailangan nating mag-subscribe ulit, no?
Yes, sir.
At mahal yun. Yung Moodle ng Pisay, hindi ko nasasabihin kung magkano, pero mahal yun, no? Alam namin ni Sir Josiah yung price kasi I'm also into this as mentioned nga, I'm also a supervisor in Pisay, so of course I know some of the, syempre pag nagbabudget kami, no? And magandang ma-offer yung Google site kasi libre to, at sa mga schools na wala pang LMS, maganda tong makita, no? Yung paggawa ng Google site as an alternative LMS, no? Magandang project niyan, no? So after this training, we'll make sure na mas marami kayong trabaho. Hindi, joke lang, no? Sa mga administrators dito, nako, magandang patrabaho natin to sa mga umaten, no? Project nila to. Sige, next natin, tawag tayo si Ma'am Mary Joy, libre. Ayan. Katulad ng Google site, ma'am, libre din to, no? Sige nga, Ma'am Mary Joy. Naka-raise hand po si ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me? Sorry, nagpa-PowerPoint na ako, no?
Yes po, good morning po.
Morning, ma'am. Oo. Meron na po ba kayong website or baka gusto niyong gumawa ng website?
We don't have yet our website po because we are actually using LMS po that we have in
LMS.
school. Yes. Meron po kaming Zenyo actually. For me po, it is important for us to have a website kasi po, I believe that it is the right thing to showcase a product. Say for example, our school din po. So it is a business. So if you have your own website po, so a lot of people will visit your school through online. They can have knowledge kung ano meron po sa school natin. Because we can post or we can advertise our school din po.
Ayan, thank you, no? So, of course, you are private schools, no? And that's the reality that we have to ground. We're grounding that on the business aspect. Private schools, unlike mga public schools like us, we have government support. So, hindi namin iisip na malulugi kami, no? Pero per private schools, how do you maintain the business aspect, no? The business. And alam naman natin, there are a lot of private schools na nagsara starting last year pa, no, nag-lockdown. And that's very unfortunate, no? And that's why dito nga kami sa Instructech, we wanted to help and support small and medium schools, no? Kasi schools kasi medyo nalilito rin, paano ba tayo, no? Paano tayo in this time of pandemic? So magandang sinabi ni ma'am, no? In this time of pandemic, ang point of interaction natin with our future clientele is not, siguro Facebook is good, no? Pero then again, we have to maintain a website. And how do you maintain a website? Mahal po magbayad ng web developer. If you try to ask someone on how malaki na ang matitipid nyo, nagkaroon pa kayo ng website. Okay? Sige. Yan. Thank you po, ma'am. Sige, last one. Tawag ko tayo. Si Sir Jorik. Kaya
Alright. So, am I audible?
Sorry, minute po ako. Minute. Sorry. Minute po ako ng host. Di ba? Sir Jorik, ayan.
Alright, of course. Okay, so good morning po. I'm Sir Jorik from St. Peregrine Institute. And with regards to the question kung ano pong importance na this website, on creating a website, I think the only importance of having a website, especially us teachers po, or kahit sa field naman po, is that a website is a good platform po to disseminate things or informations, especially to teachers kagaya po natin. It can be, we can use this in posting or finding information, po with regards to our lesson or anything po na related sa ginagawa po natin as a teacher. So I think sa school po kasi namin, we have this LMS din na ginagamit. So ayun, medyo okay naman din po pag we have this own website to disseminate.
Yeah. So thank you sir, no, for that information. I think common denominators, lahat may LMS. But then again, LMS is different from a school website. We have to remember that, no. We cannot give the LMS to our parents and to our future clientele. But sabi nga, may nakita how to market your school. You don't market your school because you have an LMS. Because all schools have LMS, no? I mean, most private schools they have LMS. Pero ako, let's say I'm a parent. I wanted to know your school. Di ba like mga big schools? they have a very good website kasi talaga may pambayad sila, no? Pero how much yung mga small and medium private schools na nagsisimula pa lang and you wanted to market your schools, no? Okay. So in relation to that, bakit ba natin din gustong is that we're moving away from social media, no? This is from a teacher's point of view. I'm not against Facebook. I also use Facebook sometimes to communicate with my students. But then again, yung Facebook kasi in teaching our lessons, alam naman natin katulad ng sinabi ni Sir, yung mga bata. Okay? Sobrang pag may nasa Messenger mo sila kausap, definitely ang daming nakabukas na tab niyan, no? Pero what if you can use your Google Sites as your subject website? No, mamaya papakita namin 'yan, no. Social science teachers, no. Ginawa namin Sir Jayan at nakatulong kami sa mga estudyante kung hindi sa mga co-teachers namin across Pisay system. No, gumawa kami ng website for social science. For your information po, we're teaching Philippine politics, no. Pisay has its own curriculum which is different from DepEd. That's why our grade 10 students, they have their Philippine politics class as grade 10 students, no. Mamaya pakita namin 'yan. So magandang ito, no. And at the same time, from a marketing perspective, maganda rin na meron kayong website na hindi book page, no. So may mga Facebook page kayo pero mas professional looking kung meron talaga kayong school website. Tama? Di ba parang, ay ito meron kaming school website, no? Hindi Facebook page. Okay? Or, hindi maganda both. No? Another thing, ayan, criminal projects, isang maganda rin, no? Wala ko, I have my own website. Ginawa ko siya using Google sa my own domain. So, masasno ko charlesdeguzman.com. This is one way for me to show my personal projects, portfolio, whatever it is that I'm doing, no? So, paggawa ng mga academic portfolios, no, or professional portfolios. Pero sa US, yung mga teachers talaga, they're really building their personal projects and personal portfolio website kasi if you wanted to siguro apply for MA, apply for another school, magandang ma-develop niya, no? Nakikita niyo yung work niyo as a teacher. So, I suggest maganda rin makagawa tayo ng website na ganyan, no? And pwede rin yan school portfolio. And pwede rin yan, alam niyo ba, pwede niyo gawin yan as class portfolio. No? Again, we're moving away from Facebook. Next thing. Another thing is communication in distance education setting. How do we communicate with our students? Sige nga po, show of hands ulit. 3 Ma'am, can you hear me? Narinig ako ni ma'am,
Okay na po, kaya lang medyo
May gusto
lang
po, no?
medyo choppy lang po, sir.
Sige.
Ayan, realidad po ng ating mundo ngayon. Dependent po talaga tayo sa internet connection. Antayin lang po natin si Sir Charles, mga 1 minute or 2, baka makabalik po siya.
Okay, for the meantime po, let us register po. Ayan, sorry. Ayan, let us register
Sige,
po
ma'am, go
doon
lang.
sa ano. Ayan. Okay, let's while waiting po, let's register. Don't forget to register po sa Google form or sa registration form po na sinend nila sir.
Yan. Ayan. Hello, ma'am. Ayan. Ayan. Mas maliwanag na kaya ako?
Yes, sir. Better.
Yeah, much better. Better,
Yes.
ayan. Malakas po kasi yung ulan dito sa Quezon City, no? So, I do not know baka internet namin dito sa Quezon City yung nakaka-apekto because of the rain, no? So, challenges in working from home, no? Teaching from home, no? Nakadependent tayo sa napakaraming bagay, pati konting ulan. Ayan. Ang hirap talagang kumonek. Sige. Let's go back to my question. Sino po yung pwedeng sumagot? How do you communicate in distance education setting? Sige nga, let's ask teachers, online teachers, no? Paano po kayo nakikipag-communicate sa mga estudyante nyo in this time? Nga, sige, tawag ako. Ayan, may nakataas. Si Ma'am Veronica Perez ulit, tawag natin. Ma'am Veronica? Ma'am, can you hear me? Ay, sige. Balikan natin si Ma'am. Si Ma'am Maria Toong na lang. Ma'am Maria?
Hello po. Good
Hi,
morning.
ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning! Good morning, Ma'am.
Good morning po.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sige po. Go.
Since last year, the first thing we did para mag-online class is we set up our Google Classrooms. Last year, yung free na Google Classroom lang, the one that came with the regular Gmail. At the same time, when I saw
ma'am.
this video, sabi may Google Suite pala for education, tapos it's for free. I applied last year. It was actually granted last year, pero nung nag-grant siya, nag-start na kami ng classes, so hindi na namin siya nagamit last year. But this year, we started to use Google Workspace for education, and it's a complete package, and it's for free. So, napakalaking
Yes.
bagay niya.
Yes.
So, we communicate with our pupils by using Gmail, by using also yung sa Facebook, because everybody is a part of Facebook, estudyante and parents. So, in tandem with the Google Classroom, nagsiset up every at the beginning of each school year, well, for the past 2 years, nagsiset up kami ng messenger group. Every section has its own messenger group. So, we communicate from during classes, ginagamit namin Google Classroom. Pero habang ongoing din yung classes, bukas din yung messenger because dun sila sa messenger sometimes, di ba, yung mga internet connection, mga ganyang problema.
Yeah.
Pag-chat dun sa messenger group yung mga bata, teacher, asking to join po ako, please accept. So, yung mga ganyang instances. So, even while classes are ongoing online, nagme-message din sila sa messenger group. So, messenger group, Google Classroom, Gmail, and of course, cell phones. Walang tatalo sa cellphones, personal phone call kapag when there's a more serious thing to discuss, telepono talaga. But otherwise, yung mga message lang, the messenger is enough. And during online class, syempre, we get to see the children sa Google Classroom. So, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. No? Although, ang challenge lang doon, ma'am, no, yung telepono, definitely, kailangan ng communication allowance yun. So, of course, in charge to teacher, no? Oo.
Challenge.
So, yun. I think, dun lang talaga.
Opo. That's why we try to cover yung iba-ibang forms of communication. Pag walang telepono, may Google, may Gmail. So, hindi pwedeng sabihin na we are not aware, teacher, na may ganito pala or nagpagawa pala kayo ng ganyang activity. So, lahat nilalagyan namin ng message.
Yeah, opo.
Opo. So, thank you.
Yes, so we have to cover all areas, no? We have to cover all
Yes
areas. And
po.
yung communication dito, yung communication na pinag-usapan po natin is not only with the students, ha? We also have to remember yung teacher number 2 na nasa loob ng bahay. Yun yung isang mahalaga ngayon, no? The
Actually,
teacher number 2.
Ang member po, sir, ng messenger group namin are the parents. Kasi, di ba, may, yung settings ni Facebook, hindi naman pwedeng mag-Facebook account ang bata. So, Messenger is a part of Facebook. At saka, we don't want the children alone doon sa chat group na yon. So, the members are actually the parents. So, dalawa silang may access dun sa account. The parents are also a part of, sa G Suite, ang may account yung bata. But, it's the parents who actually control yung mga password ng mga bata. We always deal with the parents because our pupils are from kindergarten to grade 6. So the parents, since the pandemic started and we went online, the parents have become a part of the classroom. Lagi silang kasama. Opo.
Tama. Opo. Which is, number 1, most of the time, reklamo ng mga magulang. Ginawa daw natin silang teacher ng walang training, no? So, yun talaga, ganun talaga, no? But anyway, sige, moving on. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am Veronica Perez, ito na. Ma'am, nagbukas siya ng camera. Ayan. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning
Sorry
po.
po kanina. Okay, sir. Since the pandemic po last year, our school uses we offered online classes and module, yung blended approach, and then we communicate by the students by using Zoom. And until now po, nag-open na po yung nag-class opening po kami last August, and then Zoom pa rin po yung ginagamit namin. And nakapag-explore po kami doon. Dati po sa GC lang po kami nakikipag-communicate through Messenger, pero ngayon po sa Zoom po, nakapagawa po kami ng Steam channel, GC. And then dun po namin, nagpapakall lang po kami, and then lahat, kinuha lang po namin yung mga Gmail account ng bata, and then magpapakall po kami, lahat na po yun mag-a-appear sa bata, nakakapasok na po sila. And then, kung hindi man po nakapasok yung bata through our calls, nagpapasa din po kami ng link, at dun din namin po sinesend sa Steam channel na ginawa po namin per subject po namin.
Ayan, thank you, no? Marami pa pong nakasulat sa chat box, no? Mamaya natin basahin yan, no? Pero nakikita ko nagpa-pop up naman po, no? Pero, ladies and gentlemen, isang thing na dapat nating maintindihan is that distance education, particularly online learning, is not your face-to-face classroom learning. This is a different setting, no? If you will understand po, no? Kaya maraming mga teachers na nag-retire bigla, no? Just like for example, yung mother ko po, public school teacher for the very long time in a elementary school in Bulacan, pero although nasa retirement age na siya, gusto sana niyang isagad ng 65, natakot siya kasi sa online learning, no? And for most teachers, ang skill na alam nila ay face-to-face, no? Ngayon, we have to shift our mind, no? Sabi nga sa distance education, the separation between the teacher and the student is something that we have to think. Nangyayari po kasi marami pa ring school, dinadala lang nila yung traditional classroom into their online classroom. That is a very wrong notion of it po. We don't do classroom techniques inside our online classroom. Okay? So, una, sabihin ko lang po to, there are 3 types of interaction according to this educational scholar by the surname Moore, no? Sabi niya, from a student perspective, there are three types of interaction, no? Ito yung dapat nating maintindihan also when we create our website, no? There's a student content, yung student yung accessing the content. There's a student teacher, so yung ginagawa yung communication. May synchronous time ba kayo? Gaano katagal? Meron din ba kayong asynchronous time? So you have to remember po, independent learning are very important. And katulad nga ng sinasabi natin, very different yung classroom setting sa digital classroom, no? And sa online learning na sinasabi natin. Kung sa face-to-face classroom, yung student autonomy mababa, or yung pagiging independent ng mga learner, ng mga bata, sa online classroom, ang nade-develop sa mga bata ay yung pagiging independent learner, yung autonomy, student autonomy, no? And at the same time, question din, no, as you reflect din, yung student-to-student interaction, binibigyan nyo ba sila ng time makipag-interact with one another? Paano sila nag-i-interact with one another? Okay? More on that, nung 2003 naman, nilabas naman ni Anderson, another distance education scholar, yung modes of interaction from the teacher's perspective naman. So, tayo as teachers, how do we communicate with other teachers? Okay? Yan. No? Sa mga administrators dito, how do you make sure that your teacher's professional development is not only because you wanted to provide them with seminar? Is there a bigger goal? What are the objectives, no? Can you link it to student learning outcomes? Ayan, yan yung mga tanong, no? Kasi yan yung mga issues na pinag-uusapan ngayon. Like, yung mga 21st century skill na yan, nakalink ba yan sa mga training nyo? Gusto nyo lang magpa-training buwan-buwan para lang masabing may mga training, okay? Teacher content. How do we make sure that we have the contents that we need in our classroom? So, teacher content, no? And then, how do we make sure our content is also interacting with other contents, no? So, katulad ng mga binanggit kanina, may mga nagpapa-games tayo. Gaano ka-interactive yung mga games? Kung interactive man sila, paano naman yung mga mahihina yung internet? Paano sila yung mga estudyante natin kayang mag-interact with the content? Okay? So, yan yung mga tanong natin. Okay. Ngayon, magpapakita na ako ng sample Google Sites na ginawa natin. Okay? So, my goal is to present from a teacher's perspective and at the same time, from a professional development trainer perspective, paano namin ginawa to. Papakita ko muna yung mga screenshots, tapos papakita ko yung mag-screen share ako para mapakita ko yung websites, no? Hindi ko po pwedeng ibigay yung link kasi some of the websites are internal use lang, like in PSI, no? So, may mga information po kasi doon na covered ng data privacy, no? Kasi nandun yung mga ng mga estudyante namin. So, mag-sample ako. For example, this is my homeroom class. I am a grade 10 homeroom advisor, no? Part of my load as a teacher is a homeroom advisor, no? So ngayon, sa pagbubukas ng klase, sinasabi ko, how do you communicate with the parents? Isang ginawa ko is gumawa ako ng website. Ang gastos na makipag-text palagi sa parents, makipag-usap, mauubos ang oras mo. Tama po ba yon? Imagine mo kung meron kang 30 students, may 30 parents. Lahat na yun tatawag sa'yo, teacher, paano ba to? Teacher, ano bang gawan yan? Ano bang date yan? Pero what if meron kang website for them? Ayan. Some parents hindi nagpe-Facebook. May mga ganyang parents pa rin, hindi nagpe-Facebook. Some parents, hindi naman bihasa sa mag-Viber. So what I did, I created a website for my class, no? Yan yung batch 2024. So mamaya ipapakita ko sa inyo. So pero makikita mo dito, meron kaming gallery ng pictures ng mga ginagawa namin sa classroom or activities sa school. Meron kaming schedule ng class, nakikita ng mga parents dyan. Matrix of requirements ng mga bata every quarter. Get to know PSI, there are videos about PSI and how do you contact us. So this is a sample screenshot of a website. Ayan. So, ano ngayon, what's in it for me? Well, katulad nga nung sinasabi ko, number one is how do you communicate with the parents? Una, magastos laging makipag-communicate with them through call, no? Ang tatanong lang naman sa inyo, teacher, kailan yung date ng exam? Yun lang, tas bye, thank you po. 'Di ba? What if may website ka na, nandun na lahat ng tanong? So, para ma-minimize na rin, 'di ba? Para siyang FAQ, meron namang, pwede namang nilang malaman yung mga tanong on their own na nakapost na sa website, okay? That's number one, no? Homeroom. So, yung may mga advisory class, pwede nyo pong gawin to sa advisory class nyo, okay? Next. Ito naman. This is a professional development website. Ginawa namin to sa UP. Yan, kasama ko si Ma'am Myla, yan, si groupmate, no? And actually, yung website website na to, no, nagustuhan to ng teacher namin, no. Gandang-ganda yung teacher namin na siya yung head ng distance education faculty sa UP. Nung pinakita namin to, sobrang nagustuhan niya, no, and we were happy. This one I can share with you. Sige. The next, ito yung link. Sige, puntahan nyo. You can look at it. It's bit.ly/DE conversations. Yung DE dyan is about distance education conversations. Pwede nyo po siyang gamitin sa inyong mga professional learning cell, professional development activities sa school. I-acknowledge na lang po kaming mga gumawa. Ayan. Ginawa po namin to para sa mga teachers. Inisip po namin kayo, mga dear co-teachers, no, mga academicians, educators na nangangapa. Paano ba yung distance education? So, sige, I'm giving you time to work. Look at the sample website we've created. Yan. Purely Google sites po yan. Okay. Makikita nyo po dyan, may mga games dyan. Meron pa pong chatbot yan. Imagine hindi po ako programmer pero may chatbot po yan. No? Nagawa ko, madali lang po yan. I was able to put a chatbot, no. There are videos that you can use, no. Have you seen it po, the website? Is it working? Can I show a thumbs up po kung nakita nyo po? Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Ayan. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
po. Yes, opo. Ayan, sige. Check po. Ayan. So actually magagamit nyo po yan, no. It's a one-stop shop of all things related to distance education, no. There are a lot of readings, there are videos, there are games. We even have quiz in that na pwede nyo rin gamitin sa mga IT coordinators natin dito. Magagamit nyo po yun as a resource material, no. So that is an example, no. For a school, you can have a repository of your professional development, no. The teachers can go back. Again, bakit hindi Facebook, sir? Kasi nga Facebook, very crowded na siya with a lot of information. Definitely, pag nakapost yan sa Facebook, hindi yan babasahin ng teacher mo. Titingnan nila yung nangyari sa Baguio, no, as a friend, no, yung mga issues, no. 'Di ba? Postahan tayo. Kapanonood lang yan ng kung ano-ano, magbabasa yan ng mga memes. Pero hindi yan magte-training about ano bang pakialam mo sa distance education na yan. No? Tapos na yung oras ng klase ko, 'di ba? Pero what if we can create a website, no? Yes, tama ma'am. Kasi nga Facebook is a social media platform. By the word itself, social media. So that's why we're moving away from that, no? And we wanted to create a platform, a learning platform for our students, for our teachers, no? So katulad nga nito, yung Google site is a very useful application for us to achieve that idea of having a platform for our learning, no? So, yeah, that's one. Yan. Sige, paglaruan nyo lang po yan, no? Hold on to that website. Bukas nyo lang po yan, no? So, another thing, ayan, discipline office. Sino rito yung mga discipline officer? Taas kamay. Ayan. Ako po, I was once ahead of the discipline officer. Katulad po ni Sir Josiah, I handled Philippine Science High School Main Campus Discipline Office 2018-2019. So, ako rin po ang nagsasabi kung mateterminate ba yung bata due to discipline case, no. So ginamit po naman to from an administrative point of view, no. Baka po may mga offices kayo like discipline office, no, accounting office, okay naman, office of the school administrator or whatever office that you wanted to create a website. Ginawan po namin to. Bakit po may sariling website yung discipline office like yung ginawa ni Sir Josiah? Because dito naglagay po siya ng mga services na pwedeng ma-offer. Like if you wanted to file a case, you go to the website, you can type your anecdotal report, tapos pwede mong isend sa kanya kasi siya yung discipline officer. So that is an example, no, from an administrative point of view. You can use Google site katulad nito para magamit, no, para magamit natin, no, sa mga opisina. Of course, sasabihin nyo, sir, paano ba namin magiging ganyan ang itsura, no? Tinitingnan namin yung mga screenshots. Ito po ay product ng ilang beses na paggawa. I know hindi po namin ina-expect na makakagawa kayo agad ng ganyan, no. Pero ang sinasabi natin dito sa training na to as an introduction before your practicum is that if you have an idea of what you wanted to do, no, Google site will be able to help you kung marunong naman kayo gumamit ng Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, lahat na yan ay may incorporate nyo sa Google Sites. Yun po yung maganda. Lahat ay pwedeng i-attach sa Google Sites. Katulad na nakita nyo dun sa DE Conversation website, merong YouTube, merong Padlet. Yes, sir. Sir JR. Salamat. Oh, may Padlet, 'di ba? Napawaw si Sir JR. Yes. Ayun, nilagyan ko po ng Padlet. Pwedeng mag-freedom board ang mga bata, no? Pwede silang magsulat ayun sa ano. Thank you po Sir JR for the, ano. Ini-explore ni Sir yung website namin, no. Sulat po kayo doon, no, sa DE Conversation website namin. Next. Ayan. Another thing, ito, dahil po social science teacher kami, particularly political science teachers kami ni Sir J, gumawa po kami ng website. Ang tawag dyan, Politiclass. It's Politics in Class. No? Politiclass ang pangalan po ng website namin. It's a one-stop shop na website for all politics and governance class in the Philippines. Ang premise po niyan ay Philippines. Kasi po most na nakikita naming website resource, mga journals, kalat-kalat siya at normally laging ang point of view American, no, Western. Pero paano naman yung mga Filipino teachers na nagtuturo about Philippine government? Ayan. So, gumawa po kami yung website, tawag dyan, Politiclass. Isang advocacy po namin yan na maging critical thinkers ang ating mga social science teachers, no? So, ginamit po namin yan. Okay? Lahat po ito ay produkto ng Google Sites. Nagagawin natin sa afternoon, no? Kaya po pinapa-register namin kayo is dahil mag-groupings po tayo per school and we'll try to create a website for your school, no? So, ayan, no? Isip din po kayo ng magandang name. So, mapapansin nyo po, no? Pinag-aanuhan po namin yung mga pangalan namin. Pinaglalaroan namin yung mga pangalan namin, no? No? We were na madaling tandaan, no? And at the same time, maano ng mga bata. Okay? So, yun. I think for the moment, I'll stop muna with that. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. No, thank you. Yan, thank you. And ito yung malupit na susunod na part. I have...
Ayan. Confirmation lang po kung nakikita po natin ang aking screen. Ayan. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Ayan. So, this first website that I'm showing you is actually the program that we have for this activity. If you can notice here, technology and distance education, lahat ng kailangan natin na malaman about this workshop is in here, right? So we have here the program of activities. We also have here the speakers. So we somehow made an example of this. Isang page lang siya actually. Tapos, ito na yung isi-send natin. Ito na yung sinend namin sa mga participants. No? Dito po, manonotice nyo na meron pong mga items na may underline. Yung may mga underline po, ibig sabihin, may naka-embed po na URL sa kanila. If there are embedded URLs, that makes them clickable. Ibig sabihin, kung i-click po natin itong registration, it will be leading us dito po sa ating Google Forms. So, ito po yung mga functionalities ng ating Google Suites that you can really use in your favor. Another one is, for example, dito po sa references and materials. If you click the references, you will see here the references, some PDF copies about distance education. The theoretical side is actually here. That's why we didn't anymore bother on discussing the entirety of it. The next one is the website that Sir Charles presented to us a while ago. Ito po yung website nila na ginawa nilang output sa OU sa kanilang isang klase. So makikita nyo po dito, nandito po lahat. So this simple site, you could actually apply in all the programs in school. So for example, meron po kayong training for teachers and it's a 3-day activity. Instead of coming up with a program na ilalagay nyo sa Microsoft Word o kaya gagawin nyo sa Canva, for instance, why don't you just put it in this website, right? Gawa kayo ng Google site, you put all the details, you put the details of the speakers, you put the schedules for days 1, 2, and 3, and then just simply send the link to all your co-teachers. And then you are good to go. Di po ba? As simple as that. And it's digitizing everything. Hindi nyo na po kailangan ng hard copy na, what do you call this? hard copy na program. You can also use this, and for example, if you have the time, you can actually come up with a full-blown website for graduation wherein they can see the faces of the graduates. Pero make sure na para lang po ito sa school nyo. That is the use of having a Gmail domain under Google. So isa po ito sa napakaraming pwede nating gawin for programs, for example. No? Aside from that, you can also come up with your own personal portfolio. If you want to keep track, for example, of your innovations as a teacher, you may also upload them in one site so that every time that you, for example, will be invited as a speaker, you can just lead them there. Ito po yung aking professional portfolio. You can see here my outputs. You can see here the expertise that I have. And so, madali na lang po siya. You have now your personal website. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? It's neat, right? So, this is one example. Let me show you another example. And this is a work of our students. Students ko po. Under po sila sa aking advisorship. Sila po yung COMELEC ng aming school who conducted the elections for this school year. And they made their own website using Google Sites. Ayan. Confirmation lang po kung nakikita po natin na nagta-transfer po ako ng page. Nakikita po ba natin? Okay, thank you po. Okay, so we have here the Commission on Elections. If you can see here, it's actually, it follows a color palette, which is black and white, the grayish type. That's why hindi siya masyadong colorful. To keep it more professional. For more information on how we can do graphics, lalo na for presentations as teachers, we also do workshops for that. Now, we also do workshops for that. If you're interested, you might invite us again. I hope na hindi po ito yung una at huli nating pagsasama. Ayan pa, we are looking forward to more partnerships with our group. Ayan. So I can see the positive hands of Ma'am Tina. Hopefully, Ma'am, ha? Kita po tayo ulit, ha? Pagtapos itong pandemic, hopefully kami naman po yung makabisita dyan sa inyo. Ayan, nakangiti si Sir Charles. Nag-imagine na yan kung paano kami pupunta dyan. Ayan. So this is a sample. Sample student. Take note po, ha? Hindi po ito gawa ng teacher. Gawa po ito ng students. Let's browse kung ano yung laman nitong website na ito. We have here Commission on Elections. They have a countdown here. Andito yung schedule of activities. Ayan, yung videos, i-upload pa lang nila. Yung Q&A video and the grand rally. And aside from that, it has also 3 other pages. If you click on the candidates, imagine this. Online election. We have a website. You give that website to all of the students who will be voting. And then in that website, you can see all the faces of the, what do you call this? Yung mga tumatakbo. Ayan. So makikita nyo po, yung mga candidates natin, nandito lahat. So hindi na po talaga nila kailangan pumunta sa Facebook, hindi na nila kailangan pumunta sa Instagram para lang makita itong mga ito. And then the next one is we have some primers. We have here some documents. If you click on this, you can find the Student Alliance Constitution, our student government. So napakarami po nating pwedeng gawin. Napakarami po. So we also have some primers about the COMELEC here. Kung ano yung roles ng COMELEC, sino yung mga involved na students. And then we have some guidelines on the votings. Ayan, kung paano po natin ginagawa yung pag-vote, pag nag-post sila ng campaign material sa social media, ano yung mga dapat nilang sundin, nandito po lahat. And take note, gawa po ito ng estudyante. How much more creativity could we implement if we teachers utilize and maximize this? Not only for ourselves to maintain a portfolio, but to use it in our own lessons. Can you just imagine that? One place wherein you can just simply lead your student to go there, aside from the LMS, no? And then they will see all the necessary things that they need to see. Now, the last one that I'll be showing you is more on the administrative side. Na-mention ko po kanina that I am a discipline officer, and this has also been mentioned by Sir Charles a while ago sa kanyang discussion na gumawa po ako ng website for our discipline office. This is how it looks like. Ito po yung aming tinatawag na Discipline Office web portal. Your virtual guide to a disciplined scholar life. This is how heavy po kasi yung discipline sa Philippine Science High School. all of our students are scholars under DOST. You may know some individuals or maybe kayo po mismo, naging scholars po kayo nung college sa DOST. Meron pong high school version ng scholarship na yan. And yun po yung scholarship na binibigay sa Philippine Science High School system. That is why we very much give so much value on the discipline of the student kasi they are on a scholarship basis to the point that maybe kung meron silang gagawing hindi kaaya-aya, kailangan po talagang matanggal sa kanila yung scholarship. Well, based on the guidelines. That's how important the discipline office is for us. So every campus meron pong kanya-kanyang discipline office. Dito po sa discipline office na ito, makikita po natin yung lahat na nandoon sa manual and code of conduct na dinidistribute po namin normally in a hardback copy. So dito po, the plan in mind was to digitize it. Okay, digitize it so that hindi na kanila kailangan magbuklat ng libro. They can just go to one website and then they can see everything in it, right? So we have here services offered. We can also put some announcements here. So if there are important announcements that you wish for the students to know, you can put them. You can also put calendar of events. Ayan. If you edit the calendar, magre-reflect po siya agad dito. Notice niyo po, dito po, nung Tuesday, August 31, nag-conduct po kami ng Buwan ng Wika celebration. So, nandyan po siya. Lumalabas po siya. So, as you edit the Google Calendar, all of those events that are there will also be reflected in the calendar. So, again, one stop na lang po for everyone. And we have here the discipline officers. Ayan. And then the next part is the dossier. Ayan, dahil ang tawag po namin is DO. Ayan, we were creative enough. Instead na using home, we use dome because of the DO. Ayan. And by the way, meron din po kaming mascot. Isa po ito sa that makes it interesting for the students. So for example, if you click this dog here, why is it a dog? Because it is D-O-G. Ayan. So we tried our best to be very creative. If you click this bot here, you can actually communicate with it. No? It's like a chat bot. Okay, chat bot. Meron din po yung website ni Sir Charles kanina, na-mention niya rin po ito. So you will basically be talking to a bot. And while you are talking to a bot, you are at the same time learning. Okay po? So, for example, kausapin mo yan. Ayan. So, magre-reply sa'yo. Offenses, ano ba yan? Ayan. So, sasagutin ka niya kung ano. So, that is just but one of the many possible features that you can put in the website. The next one is a dossier. Sample lang po ito, no? Ang goal ko po dito is I wanted the code of conduct to be made into graphics so that mas madali siyang maintindihan. Titingnan na lang ng student. So, kung manonotice nyo po, dito po sa part na to, puro po siya images. Ayan. Puro po siya posters. Yan, puro siya posters. We also have a copy of the Code of Conduct, the Student Handbook, Student Services Manual. We have the 1987 Philippine Constitution, and we have the rights of the child. And that's how important these documents are for us. And the last part here is actually a game. Ayan. So after all the students have learned what these are, kung ano itong mga offenses na ito and their levels, they can actually play a game. So, sampulan lang po natin. Ayan, sampulan natin. Pag nag-visit si student dito sa website na to, after learning all the levels of offenses, pwede po siyang maglaro. And we will be teaching you later on kung paano po kayo makakapaglagay ng mga laro sa website nyo. Courtesy of Sir Charles, no? Ayan. So, for example, smoking, anong level of offense ba yan? So, ang gagawin ni student, using his or her mouse, ililid niya yung bot niya into, for example, level 3. Okay, level 3 ba? Wrong siya. So, hindi level 3 ang smoking. Maybe lower or higher. So, that is just but one of the many possible examples and the functionalities that you can have with this kind of a website. And the last one, which is the real, actually the strength of this website is this. Let me show you. The discipline office in our school have 3 forms. Okay po, 3 forms. We have the anecdotal report form, the lost and found item report form, and we have the lost and found item claim form. I understand that all of our schools have forms to fill in, lalo na po yung mga teachers. What if I tell you that you can actually convert all your paper-based forms into a digital format so that all your teachers, even if they are working at home, can fill this in, submit it to you, paperless, via Gmail. And at the end of the day, what the administrators will just need to do is to just simply, act on the requested activity. Po? So napakasimple po. Let me just show you the functionality. It took me 3 weeks to really finalize this one. Ito lang po, nag-iisang form lang to. If you click this form here, it will lead you to a Google form. Okay po? Kung manonotice nyo, we are at a Google site. And if you click it, sometimes its functionality, lalampas po tayo, pupunta po tayo sa isang Google form. So just fill this in. Once filling this in, you click submit, and immediately it will generate a PDF copy of the form, and it will directly submit it to my email as the discipline officer. So in so doing, we have successfully digitized a manual form we have successfully digitized a manual form. Though this is more on the advanced side of the Google Sites. Kasi you will need to later on edit Google scripts. So what I'm trying to say is that this Google site has actually varied functionalities that we could use as a professional, as a teacher, or as an administrator. You could also use this for clearances. You could also use this for borrowing of books. As simple as that, no? You could also use this, again, just like what I mentioned a while ago, portfolios, programs, and other things which you may deem useful siya. So, eto po, I will now introduce to you how to make one. We will now demonstrate ni Sir Charles. So, if you go to your emails, let me just open my personal email para kahit na may makita kayong may makita kayong bagay doon, okay lang kasi sa akin naman 'yon. I have full privilege to show it to you. So, for example, if you open your email, makikita niyo po yung inyong mga emails ninyo. Dito po, i-click niyo po yung Google Apps, and then you locate Google Sites. Kung manonotice niyo po, since ang aking email is a personal free, yung free one, hindi niyo po agad-agad makikita yung Google Sites. Ayan, hindi niyo po siya agad-agad makikita. Pero sa may mga .edu, .ph na mga Google na Gmail sites, makikita niyo po siya yan agad. So ang gagawin po natin is i-click po natin yung more from Google. If you click the more on Google, all the products of Google will be shown, including Google Sites. Kita niyo po, can you just imagine if you have the .edu.ph and you have a Gmail suite account, all of this is accessible for you. All of this, like literally all of this. Canva Education will also be available to you. Microsoft 365 will also be available to you. Free download. Hindi nyo na po kailangan magbayad at bumili. So, once you go there, you click on the Google Sites. Ito po, Sites. You click this Sites, and then it will lead you, it will lead you to a sample Google site. Ayan. So, dito po sa account ko na ito, wala pa po ako nagagawang Google site. So, ito po yung normally yung lalabas sa atin. You can decide on coming up or using a template. For example, if you wish to have a portfolio template, click this one, event template, and project template or team template. So, but for the purposes of this, demonstration, we'll just click blank. Ayan. So, kapag click ko po yung blank, ito na po yung ating working space. Ayan. Just for us to be familiar. If you can see, it's very simple. It's very simple. Nandito na po lahat ng kakailanganin. Pero babalik po ako doon sa aking .edu.ph na email so that I can share it to Sir Charles. So, eto po yung gagawin natin this afternoon. We will just be doing a short demo, maybe around 5 to 7 minutes of demo. And then we will now let you group among yourselves into schools and then just simply go and exploit. Yeah, that's the term. You exploit kung ano po yung magagamit nyo, kung paano nyo po siya ma-maximize. You just enjoy. Ayan po. So, pag nag-open po ako ng blank, eto po ulit yung page. Ang gagawin ko po is isi-share ko po siya kay Sir Charles. Para ma-share niyo po siya kay Sir Charles and then we can work collaboratively, you click this person here, eto, share with others with a plus. I'll click that one, and when I click it, add people. So similar to when you have, when you share Google Docs, Google Sheets, and etc., hanapin ko lang po si Sir Charles. Ayan, dahil contact ko na po si Sir Charles, lalabas po siya dyan agad. Kapag hindi nyo pa po siya contact, hindi pa po siya dyan lalabas, kaya ilagay nyo po yung kanyang full email address. You click the name, and then you click send. Okay? But before you click send, you might want to shoot him or her an image message. So for example, hey sir, I am inviting you to collaborate with me. Yan. For example, kasi alam niyo po, ang isa ko pong na-observe when we implemented the online learning, yung mga kabataan po natin, madalas na madalas, hindi na po sila bumabati. So for example, if they are to send email sa atin, kunyari, they are to attach their submission, yun lang, isasend lang nila yung submission, wala man lang ni ha, ni ho, wala man lang, hi sir, I am submitting my output. So when we do things like this, it's best for us to be courteous as well, no? So again, shinare ko po yon, nilagay ko yung pangalan ni Sir Charles, and then clinic ko yung send. If i-click ko po to ulit, manonotice nyo na nakalagay po siya as editor. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, we can now work ni Sir Charles collaboratively on this site. So what we will be doing next is this. We will somehow be demoing to you how to come up with a page. Okay po? Come up with a page, and at the same time, mag-open commentary po kami, mag-audio commentary kami, and guide you to how we can do this. Okay? So, kunyari po, magko-collaboratively work kami ni Sir Charles. So, every now and then, mag-uusap po kami. Bali, magiging third person po kayo. This is how we normally collaborate. Okay po? So, on to our role-playing. Sir Charles, pasok!
Hello.
Ayan.
Pasok.
Ayan. So, kung manonotice po natin, andito na po si Sir Charles kasi nandito na po yung pangalan niya. Ibig sabihin, nandito po siya sa page title namin. So, kunyari, nagsulat ako niyan. Nag-Google Meet kami, kunyari, dalawa ni Sir Charles. No? So, sabi ko, Sir Charles, para magandang title ng ano natin is Charts. Ayan, Charts, yung title ng page natin. Tapos, magsasalita si Sir Charles, sabihin niya ayaw niya yung ayaw niyo ng title and meron siyang better suggestion. So, please do that, Sir Charles, and please edit it. Yeah.
Wait lang. Edit ko po.
Ayan. Ayan. So I'm not doing anything. But Sir Charles is doing the editing. Ayan. So we can really collaboratively work on this. I am from Iloilo. Sir Charles is from Quezon City. And we are working on one website. Ayan po, no? So, ayan, sample website. Pinalitan na po ni Sir. Sabi ko naman, Sir Charles, parang maganda yatang lagyan natin siya ng picture. Ayan. So, simple lang. You click here, change image. And then, if you already have downloaded, for example, an image, punta lang po ako sa downloads ko. Ayan. Gusto ko, eto, swimming, kunyari. Ayan. Yung ginamit ko rin po sa aking presentation a while ago. If I click that one, kita nyo po, mayroon na pong nag-swim na tao. As simple as that. It's very simple, right? And so, tapos na kami. Kunyari, sa aming sample website. So, Sir Charles, anong next natin gagawin? Merong mga themes po dito. Ayan. Sir Charles, take it away.
Okay. Oo. So, by the way, kung may question po kayo, shoot lang po kayo, no? Hinga lang tayong konti. 1 minute. Ayan. Baka ma-info overload na yung iba. Hinga lang. Breathe. Yan. Galaw-galaw ng konti. Alam ko yung iba. Ang dami naman nun, sir. Isa-isa lang. Sige. Okay.
Tama.
Lang. Okay. Ang ginagawa po lang natin is we're doing a simple collaborative activity in using Google Site, no? So, yan. Nakita nyo po, madali lang naman yung pinapresent ni sir. In a way, no, mamaya gagawin nyo po yan. You have time for it. So, ang sinasabi lang namin is that first, let's work on a collaborative activity muna, no? Walang pangit, walang maganda. Ba't hindi namin kayang gawin yung ginagawa ni na Sir Charles? Ito po ay product ng ilang failures, ilang sleepless nights, at ilang, hindi na mabilang na YouTube tutorials din po ang pinag-aralan namin ni Sir J bago rin po namin nagawa to, no? So, talagang kung first time nyo pong gagawin yung Google site, talaga pong uunti-untiin natin to. Sige. So, nakita nyo po, nagbago. Ginawa kong bold yung font. Ngayon, so dito, merong text box sa upper right, sir. Pakibalik ako sa insert pala, by the way. Ay, sir, yung screen mo, insert, dun sa taas, upper right, insert page saka team, paki-click yung insert, ayan. So, tatlo po yan, no? So, insert, page, and team, no? So, we are working on this page, no? Ito yung parang page 1 natin. So, dun sa page na to, ano ba yung gusto natin ilagay? Pwedeng text box, image, pwedeng mag-embed. Yung embed, mamaya, medyo technical na term yan. Pero, actually, nakukuha naman yan sa mga website. Pwede nyo maglagay ng Facebook dito mamaya. Pwede nyo i-embed yung Twitter nyo. No? Pwede nyo ring Google Drive. Okay. So, ngayon, naisip ko, gusto kong maglagay ng, sige, simulan ko muna with YouTube. Yan. Try lang natin, no? YouTube. Lalagay po ako, sige. Sa YouTube, pwede kang humanap, no? So, hanap lang ako. Introduction to Biology, for example.
Okay, sige. So habang naghahanap po si Sir ng intro to biology na video, so for example, Sir, okay ba na biology subject na lang to? Gawin na lang nating
Sige,
biology
sir.
subject.
Oo nga, palitan natin. Para maganda, biology.
ito,
Example.
Biology.
Example.
Ayan,
Ayan.
example. Ayan, biology.
Ayan.
Ayan, so nakita nyo po na embed na po agad yung video. And the good thing here is you can actually change the sizes of the videos. Ayan. So kung gusto nyo po, maraming videos po kayong ilagay, pwede nyo po yung gawin. So biology, ayan po, no, biology, and guided po kayo kasi meron po tong grid lines. And next thing that I want to do is before they can watch this video, I would like to put something here dito sa left side na ito. Kunyari a descriptor of what this subject is. So ang gagawin ko po is magkiklik po ako ng text box. Ayan. So kung manonotice nyo po, andito na po yung text box. Gusto ko po siyang ilagay doon. Very simple lang po siya. Lahat po ng sinasabi po namin ngayon, baka hindi po natin siya makuha agad kasi it's best that we experience this ourselves. Bale, parang nagpapakita lang po kami ng mga possible na pwede po natin gawin. So ayan po, no? Pwede nyo po siyang palitin so that when you drag it here, ayan, makanonotice nyo po nandito. Ayan. Biology is the ganon. Kunyari, ayan. Mga ganon. Mga words daw po kunyari yan. Ayan. So, kung manonotice nyo po, meron na po tayong video, meron na rin po tayong words, meron na rin po tayong pictures. Ayan. So, you can include other things here. Ang functionalities niya po, nandito po sa insert sa baba. Ayan po, no? May collapsible text po siya, may table of contents. Pwede po kayong maglagay ng button, placeholder. For example, let me sample that. Placeholder. That means that you can actually put pictures here. So, for example, again, let me sample that. If you click the plus sign, you can select here upload and then I'll go again. For example, lagay natin yung picture ko kasi kunyari ako yung teacher. Ayan, so lagay ko yung picture ko. Ayan, pagpasensyahan nyo na po yung aking picture. Ayan, so andyan na po ako. Ako na po yung teacher. Ngayon, ang gusto kong gawin is gusto ko i-introduce yung sarili ko. Ano pong gagawin natin ulit? Maglalagay tayo ng pangalan. Ayan, so text box ulit and then paliitin ko lang ng ganon para kapag drinag ko siya pataas, ayan, pwede ko siyang lagyan ng pangalan. Ayan, so Josiah. So for example, ayan. So there are countless possibilities that you can use for this one and you can do with this one. Ayan. Sir Charles, I'll pass it to Sir Charles para i-discuss naman po niya yung pages. So basically, ang ginawa lang po natin dito, ito po yung ating first page. Napaka-basic lang po nito. Ano po? You can do some other things that you wish to do here later on. So Sir Charles, can you discuss with us kung ano naman po yung pages?
Sige, sir. Okay. So, sir, pwede nga ako yung mag-share screen naman.
Sure, sir.
Sige, para ano naman. Makapahinga ng konti si sir. I'll do naman the...
Yeah.
So, yan. Nakikita nyo na po ako, sir? My screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay. So, ayan, no? Sir Josiah, nawala na si Sir Josiah, nagpapahinga na siya. Continue natin yung role-playing. O si Sir Charles na yung gagawa. So, mga nagtatanong po, yung nakikita nyo po, ito yung first page. No? Ngayon, naisip nyo, dagdagan ko pa ng page. No? Kasi minsan yung mga teachers natin, multi-subject yung tinutulo or multi-grade level. Tama po. So, dito nga po ulit sa taas, nakita natin, insert, may pages, saka teams. No? Yung teams po, ano lang po yan, it's more on the design. Ano ba, gusto nyo baguhin, gawin natin itong gantong, yung Aristotle na design, kiklik nyo lang yan, magbabago yan. So, nagbago na itsura niya, magbabago yan. Pili ka lang, ano ba, gusto blue yung ano. Magbabago yan mamaya with the other designs, no? Pero ito yung mahalaga yung pages, no? The pages kasi, yung unang page, it's the home page, no? Yan, yung unang, that's the landing page. Yan yung unang makikita ng mga tao sa website nyo. What if you wanted to add more? There's a plus sign here, you click, either you wanted to put a new link or a new page. So, page muna tayo magpo-focus. New page. Let's say, home, let's say, sabihin natin nagtuturo ka rin ng mathematics. Ayan. Click. Enter. Boom. Meron ka ng mathematics page. So, makikita niyo yung taas nagbago. Merong home, which is your first page. Pwede ko ring baguhin yun actually. Edit ko lang. I can edit it. Ayan. Ayan. Wait lang po. Oops. Ayan. Nag-duplicate. Wait lang. Or actually, you can duplicate a page pala, by the way. If you think na gusto niyo yung design, no? So, burahin ko lang to. You can delete it. Ayan. Gawin ko tong biology. Biology. Yan. So, yung homepage mo is biology, yung another page mo, mathematics. So, nakita mo sa taas nagbago. No? Biology, mathematics. No? So, dito sa mathematics, ganun din. Ano yung gusto mong gawin? Yung image, pwede mong palitan. No? So, for example, ayaw mo ng image na nagsuswimming, pwede mo rin siyang palitan. So, mag-upload ka lang din. I'll look for my page. I look for... Ngayon lang po. Hanap lang ako ng image. Image. For example, ito. Yan. Ito, for example, gusto mo tong Latin quote na to. Medyo hindi lang siya mabasa. Pwede mong i-remove yung readability para mabasa siya. Or pwede mong i-edit yung page in order to make it readable. No? So, yan, makikita mo yan, no? To make it readable. So, depende kung ano yung gusto nyo ilagay na image, no? So, para yung biology nyo, iba yung image header. Yan. Tapos dito, yung mathematics nyo, iba din, no? Yan. So, makikita mo ngayon, may 2 pages ka na. So, what if under mathematics, meron kang mathematics 1 and mathematics 2? Okay? Ang gusto mo na ang tinatawag nating sub-page. Ayan. Yung 3 dots sa gilid ni mathematics, nandyan po yung gusto nyo gawin yung homepage si mathematics, gusto nyo siyang i-duplicate, or katulad ng sinasabi ko, gusto nyo siyang mag-add ng sub-page. Diba? Sa mga website, diba may mga drop-down menu, yung mga ano. Pag kinlik mo yung add sub-page, lagay natin math 1, for example. Done. Click nyo yung done. Yan. So, makikita nyo yung menu nyo sa taas. You have biology, you have mathematics. Pag kinlik mo yung mathematics, makikita, ay may math 1. O, click ko yung math 1. Pupunta siya sa math 1. Ayan. You are now in math 1. Okay? Tapos, gusto mo pang magdagdag. Meron din po kasi akong math 2. No? Ang daming tinuturo ni teacher. May math 2 pa siya. Sige, gawa rin tayo ng sub-page for that. Math 2. Ayan. Done. So, ngayon, dito sa mathematics mo, in draft down mo, 2 math na. For example, no, if you're a subject teacher. Halimbawa, alam ko yung iba dito, may mga 1, 2, or 3 tinuturong iba-ibang subjects. Maganda yung Google site in order for you to organize your subjects para makita ng mga estudyante mo. Let's say, if you're handling naman 1 section and you're the teacher for the 3 subjects, maganda rin yan. Okay? Now, ano mo siya ngayon makikita, no? Dito po sa taas, no, sa tabi ng 2 arrow, left arrow, right, merong preview, no? Ayan. Pag kinlik mo yung preview, lalabas siya ngayon. Wow, ganito pala yung itsura niya. Okay? So, pag kinlik mo yung biology, ganyan yung magiging itsura niya pag na-publish na. Before others can see your website, you have to publish it, no? So, hindi pa natin siya napapublish. Ginagawa pa lang kasi natin yung website. Ang maganda kay Google site, magkakaroon ka ng idea anong itsura niya sa tablet. So, dito sa baba, merong phone. Ito yung itsura niya pag sa telepono. Oh. Your websites can be viewed by your students in their phone. O kaya naman, pwede naman dito sa tablet. Ganyan itsura niya sa tablet, no? And at the same time, balik tayo sa laptop or desktop. Okay? Sige. Wait lang, Sir John, nakataas ba yung kamay mo? Sige, bago ko mag-move on. Or baka may mga tanong na ano, baka kasi baka para hindi natin ma-miss yung ibang tanong. Sir John, ito yung student kanina, no? John, do you have a question? John Solis? Or ano? Ano kayo yung kamay niya eh? O wala?
Wala po sir, ayun po yung kanina pa.
Okay. Sige. Sir, pababa na lang ng kamay. Thank you.
Apo.
So, yun. Okay ka na. Na-previewhan mo na. Close mo na. Okay? Pagod na ako. Nakatulog na ako. Itutuloy naman ulit naman ni Sir Josiah. Sir Josiah, ano ba bang pwedeng kong ilagay?
Ayan. So kunyari, yung oras na yun na magkasama kami ni Sir Charles, yun lang yung nagawa namin. So pwede po natin i-postpone sa kinabukasan yung ating ginagawa. So balikan po natin yung website na ginagawa ni Sir, no? Ang gagawin po natin is basically to fill this in with all other things that we would like to input here. Yun lang po, ganun lang po siya kasimple. Later on, you can also explore embedding Google Sheets. Ayan, pwede po. For example, dun sa Google Sheets, kunyari gumagawa ka, I think mas madaling maintindihan kung ano, kunyari, gusto mong gumawa ng business website. Ayan, kunyari lang po, no? And gusto mong ilagay doon kung yung lahat ng partners mo, or wag na lang business, sabihin natin sa klase mo, meron kang ginawang activity sa klase mo and you ask for sponsorships, for example. And then may list ka ng sponsorships and you want to include them in your Google Sites. Marami ka pong pwedeng gawin doon. Pwede mo po siyang i-add as a separate for example na text boxes, or you could also just put here as embed here a sheet, no, the URL of a Google Sheet wherein nandun po lahat ng kanilang pangalan. To like maintain the element of surprise, we would like for you to explore more. But before we go into breaking out, no, para po per group, and you can explore Google Sites, and we will just be available here po sa Zoom for any question that you have.
Sir Josiah?
Yes, yes sir.
Next.
Sorry. Ma'am, sorry po. Pwede pong paki-mute lang po yung iba nating participants. Sorry. Sir, bago lang natin sila i-break, no? Baka may magtanong, Sir, gusto ko yung Padlet kasi may mga nagano ng Padlet kanina, no? Pakita lang natin sandali yung embed, no? Kaya ako naka-pause ng share.
Ayan,
papakita
sige.
ko lang sa inyo sa Padlet. Sandali lang po, di ba may mga gumagamit ng Padlet dito? Yan lang po,
Sali mo na rin yung word wall, sir.
Yeah.
For the games.
Sige, sir, can you discuss muna yung what is embed?
Ayan. So if you embed a URL, that would mean that whatever program that is in that URL, you will be able to access. So for example, meron po tayong external apps na tinatawag or softwares, namely Padlet and WordWall. Ang WordWall po is a website wherein you can make games. You can make engaging games using the contents of your subject. So if you have the time, you may check that out. WordWall, and then the next one is Padlet. Yung Padlet po, commonly ginagawa po siya for example, just a wall wherein you can input your opinions. Pwede nyo po yung gawin. Ang gagawin po natin is gagawa po kayo ng isang Padlet or gagawa po kayo ng isang game and then get its URL. Ayan, pinapakita po ni Sir Charles ngayon po, no? You get the URL of the Padlet. Sige, antayin natin si Sir Charles. Ayan. Ito po yung Padlet. Ayan. Tapos, ang gagawin po natin is i-copy po natin yung kanyang
go to share.
Ayan. Sige.
Embed in your blog or website.
Ayan. Tapos kukunin natin yung code.
Nyo po yung code yan. Ito yung code. Copy lang naman po yan, basically. Then you go back to your site. Meron dito sa embed. Saan ulit yung embed? Ayan, yung dalawang are going to the left, going to the right na ano po yan, no, na icon. Click yan. I-embed nyo po siya either by URL kung kinuha nyo. In this case po, kinuha ko yung code. So, I'll paste the code here and then I'll click next. And now, my Padlet is now here. Yung nature ng Padlet ko.
Insert na lang siya.
Insert ko na lang siya. Yan. Charan. Done.
Ayan.
I have my Padlet in my Google site. Tapos lakihan ko na lang.
So whatever is the functionality of the Padlet on its what do you call this, source, pwede nyo na rin po siyang gawin dyan po mismo sa Google site. That would mean that you will not anymore need to go to padlet.com. What you will just do is to just go to the site and then input whatever it is that you wish to write in the Padlet. Can we demo that, Sir Charles? Can you present that one and then use its functionality? Ayan.
Yeah, I'm sharing it right now. So, pwede nyo siyang ma-preview. Gumagana ba talaga? Baka naman hindi gumagana. Diba sa Padlet, merong ito, click somewhere.
Ayan.
Type lang ako. Pwede nyo siyang gawing freedom board or discussion board. Diba? Google site. Write something beautiful. Thank you. MSAA. Ayan. Wait lang. Tapos, publish. Ayan.
Ayan.
Ayan. Post
So
na.
ganyan po 'yung nangyayari. So instead po pumunta po sila sa Padlet, diretso na lang po sila mismo doon sa Google site. So you can use this, for example, in your own classes. For example, yung subject niyo po sa mathematics, gusto niyo pong marinig kung ano yung nais na sabihin ng mga bata. Kumusta kaya yung lesson ko last week? Ayan, so pwede niyo po siya lang i-lead dyan sa inyong website and then just input their thoughts in the Padlet. Ayan.
Sir, dagdagan na natin. Baka may alam niyo ba na pwede niyo ring ilagay yung recorded voice niyo?
Ayan, oo, pwede
If
rin.
you want. If you have punta kayo sa mga online recorder, record kayo ng something. Halimbawa gusto niyo mag-record ng lecture, i-save niyo sa Google Drive, tapos yung link ng Google Drive, i-upload niyo rito, maririnig ng mga bata, or pwedeng marinig ng mga bata, yung lecture niyo. Yun. So, ganun siya ka-powerful, no? For the class and for teachers, discussion on, yun. Sir Jay, may ina-add ka ba?
Ang alin, sir?
Would you like to add pa?
Wala naman na, sir. Pero let me just show to you, ma'ams and sirs, ang itsura nung ating intro to distance education na hindi pa po napapublish. So, for example, ito pong ginagawa natin ngayon, ito pong sa mathematics and biology, ito po yung pinaka-rough draft, kumbaga, of how your Google sites would look like on its beginning stages. Now, let me show to you. Sir Charles, can I share screen again?
Sure. Ikaw naman.
Ayan.
Thank you.
Ayan. So, what you can see here on your screen is the working version of the technology and distance education site that we have given out as the program guide. So, ito po yung kanyang itsura habang hindi po siya napapublish. Ayan. So basically, it's basically the same with that of what you see when it is already published. So if you can remember the setup a while ago, ito pong picture na nandito, inad lang po natin yan. Nagdagdag lang po tayo ng words dito para pumalagay natin ito. And then, if you remember it correctly, yung placeholder po yung ginawa natin dito, nilagyan po natin siya ng picture and then ng words. You could also change its layouts. Kung dito po sa right side, kung manonotice nyo po, may iba't ibang klaseng layouts po. You can also play with those later on as you will be inputting the contents that you wish for your website to have. So, all in all, the idea is that you put all the details that you wish for your website to have, and then after you have put it there, you make it a point na gagawin mo siya na parang professional looking. Ibig sabihin, if you need to drag the pictures down, drag them down. If you need for them to be higher, you do that, exactly that. And then it's easy to come up with a balance using the sites. It's because it is grid guided. So may mga grids po siya. So makikita nyo po if it's in the middle, if it's in the right or left. Now, after you have come up For example, if after you have come up with a very good website, satisfied na po tayo sa laman niya, and then wala ka nang gustong idagdag, pero by the way, pwede niyo po siyang edit any time of the day, and you can also update it by the hour. So pwede niyo pong gawin. So everything, if everything is already here, the one thing that's left for you to do is to publish it. When you publish it, that would mean that it would now be available to the public or to those individuals to whom you are allowing access of. So what do you do? What you do next is, after you have completed all its contents, you just simply click publish. So once you click publish, mag-change lang muna tayo ng something dito, no, para ma-edit natin siya, para ma-publish natin siya.
Okay, sir, try natin yung ginawa nating website.
Okay,
Sample
sige. Yun na lang i-publish
para
natin, sir.
Yun na lang i-publish natin.
Ayan, so, for example,
para makita nila na ano.
Ayan. So, kunyari, publish po namin ito ni Sir Charles, no? Tapos na po ito. Ang gagawin po natin, click po natin yung publish. Since this is the first instance of this being published, eto rin po exactly yung lalabas sa atin mamaya as you will be making as you will be publishing your websites. So, if you click publish here, ang lalabas po is ito. Publish your site and then web address. Ayan po, no? And makikita nyo po dito, who can view my site. Dahil po nasa Philippine Science High School Western Visayas po ako, ang lalabas, ang default po niya is lahat po ng taga WVC, makikita po nila ito. However, I can manage this. By managing it, I can actually change kung sino po yung maaring makakita. So if you want to change that, you just click change here and then you change this one into public. Ayan. So you click public. Basically, after you have published this, everyone on the internet can see it. So as long as they have the link. Ayan. So kunyari, i-done ko po yan. And then what's left for us to do is to have a name. Ayan. So lagyan po natin ang web address na sample. Ayan. Sample. Ayan. So bali ang mangyayari po.
Ay, sir, yun nga, reminder lang yung pangalan. Oo, kasi kaya you have to think of a good name kasi baka katulad ng ibang internet website or website name, baka taken na siya, no? Tulad ng crush mo.
Yes. Ayan, so
crush mo na taken na. Oo.
Kung notice niyo po, nag-red po siya, no? Sinulat natin yung sample. The reason is, taken na daw po si sample. Buti pa si sample, sir, no? Taken na. Yung iba nating kaibigan, hanggang ngayon, hindi pa. Ayan, so sample. Ayan, so palitan natin yung pangalan. Ayan, sample website. Ayan, let's see. Ayan, walang may-ari dun sa sample website. So, ang gagawin po natin, kapag tinanggap na po niyo yung pangalan, you just simply click publish. And when you click publish, I will not publish this, sir, kasi parang ano.
Ay, wait
ayan,
lang. Sir. Yung pala, yung sa publish, makikita nyo, if you wanted to make it available sa mga search engine, i-click nyo siya. Pero ang maganda kasi sa Google site, baka may mga nagtatanong, sir, what if ayoko? Pwede naman. Wag nyo lang i-click yun. So, ibig sabihin na makakita lang nun, let's say, mga estudyante nyo, kasi sila lang yung nakakaalam nun link, yung mga parents, no? But then again, depende nga sa gamit ng site. Siyempre, if you wanted your site to be the school website and it's for marketing purposes, you might want to click it so that you might not want to click it kasi nakalagay dyan, pag kinlik mo yan, request public search engines to do not display my site. So, hindi i-display yan ni Google. Pero pag naka-unclick yan, once na pinublish mo yan, searchable na siya sa search engines. Ayan.
Yes.
Sir, before we continue lang, may nag-raise ng hand. Si Sir Reynaldo ba yun? Sir, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. So, sir, can I ask if can we change the color of the font of our website, and if we can, how we will do it?
Okay. The thing with changing the fonts, sir, is dependent on the theme that you are using. So, for example, if I may lead you here, kung manonotice nyo po, ang iba lang po yung nag-change ng font. So, for instance, ito po, ito po, nandito po. Ang gamit po natin is Vision. Ayan po, no? And dito sa Vision, under sa Vision, may colors po siya. So if I change the colors, you will see that the fonts will also change. Ayan po. Ito lang po yung mga limitations ngayon ng Google Sites. It's because not everything in it is actually customizable. However, you can still do some changes regarding it. So you can also change the other fonts. And you can also change the font styles. Ayan. You can also change the font styles here. So basically, it's really dependent on the theme that you will be using, sir. Ayan. So, ayan. So,
Okay.
ayan. So, kung
Ay,
i-click natin ito, once na meron na po tayong pangalan, click lang po natin yung publish. And once it is published, ganito na po yung kanya magiging itsura sa everyone who will try to access it. Ayan. Medyo magulo pa po ito kasi nasa first stages pa po tayo. Ayan.
Okay.
So, I think, Sir Charles, we are through unless mayroon ka po pong ipapahabol.
May question si Sir Jorik.
Yes.
Sir Jorik?
Yeah, sorry. Regarding po dun sa my cover photo, can we have a video instead of photo? Yung pong nagsiswimming, halimbawa, yung guy na nagsiswimming. Pwede pong video?
Sadly, ngayon, sir, hindi pa siya pwede. Hindi pa siya pwede. However,
Sa
you can
header,
input,
hindi pwede. Sa header,
you
hindi
can
siya pwede.
you can input some videos naman sa body mismo. Ayan.
Alright.
Sadly, yun lang yung limitation niya. Pero actually, to tell you the truth, Sir Jorik, this is already the improved version. Kasi yung unang labas po ng sites is talagang less pa po yung functionality niya. That's why they really improved it to somehow jive to the setup that we have now. So hopefully, ma-input na po nila yung mga ganong customizable features na as we progress with this setup. Ayan po.
Actually, sasagutin ko rin sana to. Yung GIF ni Sir Daniel, no? GIF format po ba ay active sa header? Hindi rin po no? Kasi everything na gumagalaw, hindi pa siya kaya ni header, no? So, ang suggestion ko sa inyo, if you wanted na magpagalaw, lalo yung ating mga Canva expert dito, kasi sa Canva, ang daling gumawa ng GIF, no? Sa body nyo po siya ilagay. No? Body nyo siya ilagay. Yung header nyo na lang yung gandahan nyo, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So, marami naman pong website. Unsplash for the image pre na pictures, Unsplash Pexels, yan, ginagamit ni Sir Josiah, favorite niya yan. Canva, of course, favorite natin yung Canva. Flat icons, no? Flat icons for your for your vector images, no? Yun. Tapos, kaya nga suggestion ko, maganda kasi dito sa Google side, may image carousel, meaning, you can put a lot of pictures of your school, tapos pwedeng, pag-load ng website, automatic, bubukas agad yun. Bubukas agad yung mga images, gagalaw agad sila yun. Sir Josiah, may tanong, Sir, how about hover text? Is it possible?
Yes, Sir John. Meron pong ibang part na pwede po kayo mag-hover, pero kailangan nyo pa rin po siyang i-click. So, for example, later on pwede po natin siyang basta meron pong, eto po, collapsible text. Yan. You can add a collapsible text. Ano po siya, hover, ang concept po niya is hover, pero kailangan nyo po siyang i-click para bumaba po siya. Meron pong pahabol na tanong si...
Mobile responsive po ba ito?
Yes, sir. Mobile responsive din po siya. Because if you, for example, yung pinakita po sa atin ni Sir Charles kanina, let me just use this one. Hindi na pala ako nag-share. Wait lang po.
Share.
Ayan. So, if you, for example, this website kanina po, no, you can view it in a tab, and this is how it will look like po sa phone. Ayan po. This is how it will look like sa phone. So, as you are making your website, you may also wish to every now and then check kung ano po yung kanya magiging itsura sa phone so that you can adjust accordingly kung hindi po siya in accordance with what you wish for the students to see doon sa phone version. Ayan. So,
okay. Tapos, yung sa carousel image, another question from si JP Gafood. Yung carousel image, depende po yan sa inyo. If you wanted to make it automatic or manual po siyang gagalaw, gaano kabilis. If you add carousel image, nandun po siya. Meron pong mga drop-down menu yan na you can further customize the carousel image. Tapos, from Sir FT Carbonell, manual coding. Ayan, bibigay ko na yan kay Sir J. Kasi ako hindi ko na manual code. Medyo wala pong alam sa programming language. Sir J, what do you think?
Sir, ang Google is actually guided by the Google script. So should you wish to code all its functionalities, I think you can also do it sa ating sites because you can do that as well sa sheets and sa forms. Pero ang personally na try ko pa lang po in scripting is changing the scripts of the sheets for it to for it to partner well with the forms. But the changing
Okay.
scripts of the Google Sites, I haven't yet tried. Maybe you can also try that one.
You can, yeah.
Pero I suggest na okay na po siya eh. Working na po siya on
Okay
its
naman
own.
siya eh. Oo.
However, if you really wish to add some more functionalities, maybe you can explore later on ang kanyang manual coding. But yes, the answer, sir, is yes. Everything in Google ngayon is pwedeng manually coded using scripts. Ayan.
Okay, sige. Sir, ito, meron na nag-try pero mamaya natin buksan to, Sir Yman ha. Doon na tayo sa grouping, no? Pero ayan, binukasan ni Sir Jake. May nanalo na, uwi
Right
na,
now.
tapos na.